We're talking about money today, guys. Well, at least for part of this thing. After doing some math that I'm not going to do on video, we're going to have about $25 million in cap space next season, once we take into account re-signing a couple guys and Evan Fournier accepting his player option like we assume. First guy's Bismack Biyombo. He's been the unsung hero of this team for 3 years now. Doesn't have anything glamorous about his game, but he grabs rebounds, he plays defense. And if we look at the numbers he's putting up this season, sometimes starting for Marvin Bagley who's injured, or just coming off the bench and still being good, what more can you really ask for out of a backup center? So Biyombo's going to stick around, and I'm not going to screw him over because 2K will have him ask for way less money. And the cap room on the sides, ignore that one because the cap's going to jump up next season a little bit. You'll see in a second how much cap space we have next season. Also bringing back Pascal Siakam because I think having two backup big guys who can both play some defense, one of which in Siakam who can shoot, is a good thing. So if you look at this here, $50 million in cap space, and then when you include the options of Evan Fournier, Jason Tatum, and Trayvon Duval, about $27 million in cap space. Might re-sign Josh Richardson, might not. And we're making this switch as well. Aaron Gordon has been putting up some pretty nice numbers lately, especially when it comes to his scoring. He is number one option, and look at this. We've clinched the playoffs. It took us 3 years, which is probably the longest that it's ever taken a MyGM team for us, but we're in the postseason. Aaron Gordon has taken over the scoring lead for this team. I feel like Marvin Bagley is going to end up leading the team in scoring. So now we're just going to see 3 games in which Aaron Gordon did some stuff. And I guess in this time I'll talk about teams' off seasons and whatnot based on the team that we're facing, because I don't know, I feel like doing this. We're facing the Celtics here. I'm going to talk about them, but you're going to see Aaron Gordon footage because that's just what the hell I do. I don't know, they're putting a lot of stock into free agency, man. Gordon Hayward, Blake Griffin, and yeah, it'd be great to acquire either one of those guys. I've heard some weird thing where people talking about them getting both of them. I don't know how the hell that happens unless you trade someone away that you care about on this team. I don't know. I'm not always the biggest fan of putting so many eggs into the basket of free agency, but at the same time, if you end up getting a guy who would probably be like Gordon Hayward, that's good for them. I also found it funny how when Paul George actually is on the market now, they're not trying to trade for him. To the Atlanta Hawks, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. My goodness, Aaron Gordon. He's going off, man. Atlanta did some things yesterday. They traded Dwight Howard to the Charlotte Hornets for, well, a bunch of bullcrap, to put it bluntly. Dwight's stock sure has fallen from where it once was to where it is now. But you know what's nice about Atlanta? At least they're finally realizing the situation they're in, which is a team that is not good. A team that was trying to hold on to something. Did they make the playoffs? I don't remember if they did or didn't. I don't believe they did. And there's really no point in trying to be that. You know, it's much smarter to just bottom out. So trading away Dwight Howard, they did that. I assume they're going to let Paul Millsap go. They should have just traded him at the deadline so they could actually have gotten something for him. But at least Atlanta is now embracing just being young and being bad. We'll see if Schroeder is actually good. I'm not a huge fan of him, but maybe he could take some leaps in terms of his defense, three-point shooting, playmaking, and getting to the foul line. Who knows? But quietly, I have to say, the Charlotte Hornets, if Dwight Howard buys into that, and he and Cody Zeller are the center rotation, both of them playing about 24, 25 minutes a game, that's a really good center rotation. I don't think it'll happen. I think they'll try to play them together sometimes, and it's not going to work at all, and Dwight Howard's going to be unhappy. And finally, the Los Angeles Clippers with Aaron Gordon putting up nearly a triple-double with also 24 points. I just had to embrace Gordon as the top dude because for whatever reason, he just kept scoring the most. You know, Jason Tatum being the guy with the highest tendency and the best natural scorer on the team, Gordon keeps doing it, man. I think part of it is because of the pick-and-roll offense. Who knows? Let me confuse you again by going back to the Clippers here. I don't know what happens with him this year, man. I mean, do you bring everybody back and just bang your head against the wall in the Western Conference once again, or does somebody leave and then that makes you more proactive and you decide, oh yeah, we can try to make some moves and get some guys who might not be as talented as some of these free agents we're losing, but they could end up being better for the overall fit of the team. Who the hell knows? LeBron's the MVP at 45 years old. Moses Brown gets Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to him. Jared Allen was way better than I expected him to be based on his attributes in the draft. Joel Embiid stepping up, that's a good thing for him. Tyronn Lue, the Cavs were pretty bad last season, so to have them step up, at least in the MyGM mode, that's good for them. Interestingly enough, Marvin Bagley is not on any of the rookie teams. I have to assume it's because he just missed too many games, because if we look at this guy's stats, whenever the hell it actually goes, like, obviously Bagley was better than that. We have the Bulls in round 1, which ironically is like the one team that we faced this year because of the one game that I actually played. I'll be playing more games because we're in the playoffs. It's Jimmy Butler's team. 30 years old, but he's still killing it. The scary thing is, he's going to be the best player on the floor. Maybe one of our big three could play better than him, but I don't think that's going to happen. And a lot of times when you get two evenly matched teams, the team who has the best player wins, but who knows? They also have DeAndre Ayton, their second-year center who's been killing it. We're going to go into a lot more detail about this series and things that we can attack in the next video. But for this one, we're just going to, a brief little preview, but let's get ready for the playoffs.